All right, y'all, welcome back. Happy Wednesday evening. This is the midweek chat, and I got my host, Timmy G, Ruck from straight up Tennessee, and JPatt joining us. We got some things to talk about, man. Obviously, Florida, rivalry week. Can't stand those guys. It's like a different vibe this season, though, because, Tennessee's playoff hopes are pretty much done. Florida can't make it to a bowl game, but the game is in the Swamp. We haven't won there since 2003 or whatever. Everybody knows about all that, but y'all just be open with y'all's thoughts, and I'm gonna, try to get to as many other chats as I possibly can. I'm gonna let everybody up on the panel answer some questions as well. So if y'all have a question for anybody up here, don't be shy. We're gonna do our best to cover everybody's. But y'all please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And I want to start off because we will go. So we've got Ruck with us until like right up when the injury list comes out. So we are going to obviously be talking about that. I want to start off there, but I definitely want to get Ruck's thoughts on it. So let's pull that up first, man. These are some of the like key injuries for us to look out for tonight. For Tennessee, Wendell Moy, okay, hoping that he can go. We got Peyton Lewis. I'm not sure about Miles Kitselman. I've heard that maybe he's out. I don't know. I haven't seen that verified necessarily, but y'all let me know if y'all see something different. And then Jamal McCoy. I don't know, like Austin Price. You made it sound like maybe there's a chance. I don't think he's going to come back this season, but those are the ones for Tennessee. Now for Florida, George Gums Jr., he's up there because I had him as one of my key players. He's out. He had season-ending knee surgery. So I hate that for him, but he's definitely one of their best players. You know, he's an edge, number 34. He can rush the passer, but man, he is versed to run. He's serious. So Caleb Banks, we talked a lot about him last season. Number 88, he's a defensive lineman. He's a stud, 6'6", 330. He hasn't played, I don't think, since the LSU game, but he might be back for this one. So that's a huge influx. I mean, kind of like losing a guy, but then adding somebody else. But, they got plenty of players up front. And then also with Robert Kearney, he's a guard. He's number 71. He's more of like a backup. But I think he might have missed last week, so he might be back this week. So those are names that we should be looking out for. Anything that kind of stands out to y'all just in looking at this. I'm going to start off with you, Ruck.
Yeah, man. Obviously, you don't want any of our guys to be injured, especially Wendell Moy with all the rotation we've been doing ever since David Sanders got back, right? Like it feels like you finally have solidified that 5 and then one goes down. So you kind of hope that he's ready to go. The Miles Kitselman injury, it sucks as just understanding what he means to the football team. But, man, he's not been great this season. As far as from in the past game specifically, run blocking, man, he's been handling his business. But whenever it's like every time we try to get him the football, I almost close my eyes. Like I just hope and pray. And so I'm not necessarily too worried because I think we saw a lot about what Ethan Davis can do in the past game a few games back. We haven't really targeted him a lot since that game, but excited to kind of see what he can do. And then obviously for Florida, Caleb Banks, I don't want him to play. that dude, he is everything you want in just a run stopper. Just will plug the hole. He will sit there. He don't even have to impact the actual player. He's gonna just impact the play. And so it's just I hate that for us if he's back. But Grums being out is massive because he would be on David Sanders' side. And we don't have to necessarily see that this weekend. So I'm looking forward to it. I think this is still, even with how Florida seasons went, how our season has went, like dude for dude, this should be another great matchup. So
yeah. So we are going to get to y'all's thoughts here in just a second. But Timmy G, what are you thinking here just in like looking at these injuries?
Well, I think the one that's probably going to affect us more than any of them on there is probably Wendell Moe. But we Sham can play it. He's played all dang year, and that's one of the good things about playing other guys this season is they're not coming in straight off the bench with no experience. These guys have had reps against some serious defenses, and I don't think we're going to play another defense this year that's going to be like Oklahoma was. So there's that, But sucks having Peyton out, but if he can't play, but it is what it is, and if listen, I've given up hope on the whole Jermod McCoy thing a long time ago, bro. Like that's just why do we do this to ourselves? To keep posting it up here, like come on, let's just move on. I love it for him to come back, sure I would, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. In Kitselman, He's definitely he's a leader. I think he's definitely a big part of the heart of the team, right? But you got some young guys, man. Ethan Davis, as long as he's good to go, I think might be enough. But,
Mhm.
let's see.
Yeah. So I put Mata up here, y'all, because I know that some people want to see it. You know, some people want to talk about it. I don't think he's coming back either. But JPatt, what's your thoughts on the injuries, if you have any?
And so with the gums, I just want to call him Gumps. But he probably picked the wrong school. He should have went to Alabama and just put a B, like flip that B down. But either way, like I'm just thinking, like Caleb Banks, like definitely, like I hate to see anybody injured because I always want to be, I want to beat everybody when they're at their best, like period. And at the same time, right now the way things are happening, especially with the way our offense is operating, like and our run game, I'm not mad about both of these guys being out. Like that, to be honest with you, on our side, hey, see Peyton Lewis, like Wendell Moe as well, Miles Kitselman, like I think we're okay there. Like we've got plenty of depth there at that position. You know, like last week, he kind of had me upset with his effort on that interception. He just kind of
Totally.
like lackadaisical, like just kind of like, oh, I'm going to run this little slant route and not give a shit, or excuse me, not give a crap. And like, that's it. Emotions, man. Apologize, but like, it's just I'm not upset about that. I hate Peyton Lewis and Wendell Moe, but I think like Timmy G said, Wendell, we can replace him with Sham. And the offensive line has been kind of rotating all year long. And they've kind of been playing, musical chairs essentially. So I think we're going to be all right with that. Mod, yeah, we kind of knew that. So I hate that, but we've got Ty, we got Colton. I'm I'm happy about our corners. Like we couldn't have had two better replacements for what we had.
Yeah. So let me also tell y'all this, okay? This is just the key players that we're looking out for later on tonight, because the list will drop at like 8:10, 8:15. I just want to make sure that people do know that. I think the Wendell Moy, I know that y'all are saying, well, we got some other players. Yes, we do, but I feel like if he can't go, that is going to be a big problem for our Tennessee Volunteers. So that's the one that I'm probably watching the absolute closest for Tennessee. But let's move forward. Let me ask y'all this first question. Who do y'all think is more motivated in this game? Is it Tennessee or is it Florida? Ruck, starting with you.
Man, I hate to say it, but I feel like it's Florida. They have nothing to lose at this point. They're not bowl eligible. They can't make a bowl. They're coming home for their first time in, I think, 3 weeks. I don't know. I saw uninspired football from us last week against New Mexico State. Like, what makes me think that we're more motivated now to go to the Swamp? Obviously, big game, rivalry game. We should. I don't think it's going to be hard for us to get up and get ready to play in a game like this. But as far as motivated heavily, I think it's Florida, because, I mean, you saw what they just did to a top 5 team. Should have won the game, but DJ Throwaway can't keep his head on straight. And so, I think it's Florida, and I hate that I'm saying that, to be honest.
Wow, that's okay. Interesting. So, Timmy G, what you think about it?
Oh, I don't know, man. I think Tennessee's going to get up for that game. There's something that I think me and you might have talked about earlier, though, is I think Florida is on the verge. I think they can get up for this game, but how rigid will they be? Right? If you punch them in the mouth, I think they've suffered some pretty bad losses. They know they're not playing for a bowl game. If it feel like if Tennessee gets up and jumps on them, what's that going to do to them? Right? But Tennessee's got to do that, and how Tennessee's done in the Swamp historically. So,
totally.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. It's Florida. Like, anything can happen. I've seen Tennessee lose to them with when Tennessee's had better teams than what they've got now, and Florida's had worse teams than what they've got now. So just don't beat yourself. That's the main thing.
Yeah, for sure. So, Pat, what's your thoughts on it?
basically, like, not to just mirror everything that's been said right now, but like it's literally exactly that. Like, so we've got to be able to step up and just. I don't like calling it a curse. Like, I don't like calling it, the Spurrier curse or anything. I'm an older guy, and I just no. It's just time to go down there and handle business. Like, that's what time it is. We need to go down there. We need to handle business. Do what we do. Not worry about what happened last year or 2 years ago, or 4 years ago, six, whatever. How many ever? Every 2 years. Not worry about that. Let's go down there. We know we're the better football team as far as like. We have the better coaching staff in place. We have the better players in place. Let's go handle business and let's do that. Let's not worry about any of this other stuff that's been, and it's constant. There's always got to have that. Like, that's just college football, and that's what the theatrics, that's the tradition and everything. So I think we've got this. We just got to go down there and handle it. Do what we do. Come out strong. Smack them in the mouth, and not let up. Like, Heifel's got to keep, like, the way he did in 22, keep smacking them in the mouth. Like, pull the belt out and spank them.
Facts. Excuse me. All right. So next question, y'all. What are your concerns and what gives you confidence? All right. And if you don't have any confidence in anything, or if you don't have to just make stuff up, but I want to know, like, both sides of it, how y'all are feeling. And I'm going to start off with Ruck again.
Yeah, I'm concerned offensively. I didn't think I would be saying that right now. Florida's defense has been really, really solid the majority of the year. Understandably, they've got a lot of losses and things like that. But when you look at the tape, I mean, you're like, God almighty. The safeties are freaks. They have a great defensive line. They don't let you run the football on them as much as you want to run the football on them. I'm concerned offensively. If Joey has to throw the ball 45 times, I don't think we win that game. And I'm concerned that what was working in the past game, we just somehow stopped doing it. And it's happened the last two games. It's like we get nervous and just go away from what has been working and default back to what's not working now, but it's just what we've always done. And so I'm concerned to see, like, offensively what we're going to do. I'm not nervous about Joey. Like, look, he's going to give them one. That's fine. Keep doing what you do, bro. Like, just stay level-headed, because he definitely does that, and he'll play through it. He can, I mean, the way he's snapping clears, I could care less if he throws a pick. Just don't throw it in the fourth quarter, please. Confidence-wise, I understand it was New Mexico State, fam. I understand it. That's the best defensive performance we had all year. I mean, like, I felt like the corners came to play. Ty Redminger came ready to play. He's going to be a stud, y'all. I'm telling you, like, with time, you see what he's doing now, 10 games in. It's just getting better every week. I feel like with the new look linebackers with Perlotti, Jordan Burns had my eyes wide open last week. Like, get the guys out there that can run. And if they do that, I'm confident, man, that we can slow down Florida's offense, because the only time that I've seen this season watching Florida football, watching tape over the last week on Florida, Florida lives and dies by explosives. If you make them have to drive, they can't do it. But if they get explosive, whether that's ball just killing you for 20, over and over, or if it's Lagway hitting J. Michael Sturdivant down the sideline for 50, like, if you limit explosives, you can get them off the field. So I am confident in that. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. So just to kind of like piggyback off of what you were saying, let me pull this up, everybody. This right here is showing, actually, you know what? Let me see if I got this a little bit bigger, because it's going to be hard for y'all to see it, just because this is pretty small. But you've got the offense on the left, you've got the defense on the right. It's showing you what the stats were through the first 5 games versus what it was through these last 5 games, and just like what the difference is. So there is, obviously, we're going to be going backwards some, because the strength of schedule has stepped up in a major way. Totally. But at the same time, if you're looking at the offense, they've gone back more than the defense has. The defense is actually, so I would say that if everything was equal, if this offense and defense played earlier in the season, I would say that the defense might be playing better than they did, and the offense would be playing worse. So I did want to point this out and just like pull these numbers up for y'all real quick. But I am going to get right back to, we're going to go to JPatt. So let me get, hold on 1 second. Let me get this to the right one. Where we at? Boom. All right, here we go. So JPatt, where you at here, dog?
Right here, brother.
All right, boom. All right, so JPatt, what's your
Yes,
thoughts on
sir.
this?
So with me, kind of, to continue on with what Ruck was saying, we gotta eliminate the ability for the run game to kind of take away. If Jaden Ball gets running, like if he gets going, if we can't clog up the middle, because they do love to hit the middle of the line. We don't have that size the way that we used to have, like Big O, Big E clogging up the middle, and just shutting down the run the way that we did. If we can't do that tomorrow, then we're going to have a little bit of issue.
Yeah.
Caden Perlotti is like that young man. Like they should have been playing him earlier this year, and I will die on that hill all day long. I'm super impressed with the way Tyler Redmond has truly stepped up as a freshman. Like that young man is like that. He just every week he makes me smile, man. Like, and he's just getting better and better. I love watching his growth. But we've got to be able to shut that down. And like with what he's done in the past like couple of weeks on the past game, it wasn't like perfect against Oklahoma, but like I feel like he got a little bit more confidence this past week against New Mexico State. Interception, and I think that's going to play huge dividends for him. We just got to be able to capitalize, because Florida's going to make mistakes. Like they really are. They don't have a head coach. They got some, I don't even know who it is. I don't care because it's Florida. So, but we just got to capitalize on mistakes, limit our own. Joey's got to be able to, kind of, let's not, let's throw it out of bounds instead of try to, force it when you're getting pressure. Just, send it out of bounds, live to fight another day. And I think we've got this, man. I really do. Like, I think if we do just a few things, don't let the crowd get involved, I'm happy.
Totally.
Yep. Tim, what's your thoughts here?
Concerns, turnovers. That's it. That's why we've lost the last couple games, to be honest. Inopportune turnovers. Alabama game, going into half, that was a 14-point swing. That is a momentum freaking killer, man. You can't do that. And especially when you're playing on the road in the SEC. Take care of the ball. Number one thing. I think as long as Tennessee can win the turnover battle, we can win the game. What am I confident in? Wow.
Don't say it like that, Timmy. Dang. Dang.
Yeah, well, honestly,
which is fine too.
What gives me confidence is honestly the wide receivers, but we've just got to, number one, take care of the ball and don't try to force shit in. But wide receivers, man, we have a wealth of wide receivers this year. We got 3 guys that have just been killing it, absolutely killing it, man. Chris Brazzell, Mike Matthews, Braylon Staley. Braylon Staley has had probably the breakout year of all people, especially as a freshman. I think he's leading all freshmen with touchdowns and receiving yards, and he's first in all those categories. Seems like a really good kid, and Heupel is getting really good use out of him, and I think they'll continue to do so. Just take care of the ball. That's the only thing. Defense, I think defensively, I think we can definitely give Florida some issues if we can just take care of a couple things. If it was me and it was Tim Banks, I'd put Perlotti in, and I would give him one assignment. Your one assignment is the QB. You go where the QB goes. You don't let him run. You don't let him outside. That's your job. That's all you do today, buddy. You hunt quarterback. You hunt Lagway. You're on Lagway hunting mission all day long. Just contain the dude. But that's what I got, man.
Okay. Love that. So look, we are about to tap into the chat, y'all, in just a second. But since you just brought up Lagway, let me let's go ahead and talk about this because I know that there's a lot of folks that want Tennessee to run more man-to-man coverage. This is a game that I'm showing you this right here. Like, these are the stats. It's showing you all of DJ Lagway's dropbacks, or most of them, and the coverages that he's faced the most of. So it's the top 7 coverages that he's faced so far this season. Everything that's in blue, those are zone coverages. Everything in red is a man coverage. Cover 1 is like a man-zone hybrid, okay? To the right of that, y'all can see his touchdown and interceptions. All right, so with all of the zones, what you're seeing, right, especially those top 2, he's got 1 touchdown each there. Versus cover 2, he's thrown 6 picks. Versus cover 3, which is a deep zone, that's when the cornerbacks are playing off. They're not playing up at the line of scrimmage. They're giving ground. There's 3 picks there. Cover 1, like I said, that's a man-zone hybrid. You're going to have at least one safety playing over the top, maybe a linebacker playing as a spy, Timmy G, or playing in like a middle zone. But right there, you got 1 touchdown to 2 interceptions. Cover 0, that's straight man. That is, we either playing man or we blitzing. That's bump and run, typically, all of that type of stuff. 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And he's faced that the least, within this top 7. What's my point? It's that you probably don't want to play man-to-man coverage in this game. You probably don't want to come out playing bump and run. Versus number 1, some wide receivers that, in my opinion, it might be the best unit, even though they're missing, 2 or 3 of their best guys. Don't matter, bro. Their speed is different. I don't care who it is. I don't think anybody on this roster can stick with them people one-on-one from the line of scrimmage because they like 4-2 types of speed. It's totally different. So we can't do the bump and run stuff. We have to play off. And we just have to force them into some, like mistakes and things like that. But also, DJ Lagway can run. You don't want to run a bunch of man-to-man coverage with quarterbacks who can run because your back's to them. So I did want to throw that out there just so that people know if we come out playing a bunch of zone, if they're hitting on a few or a whole bunch of short passes, understand that the alternative to that is they're throwing 6 over our heads, and that's not what we want. So with all that being said, let me go ahead and jump into this chat, man, because I've kept y'all waiting long enough. I'm going to go through, and like I said, man, I want for y'all to answer questions too. This one right here from Chatsworth. Thank you for joining us. Thank y'all to everybody who's joining us. This one right here from, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that name, but wow, man. So Tennessee wins 33-21. Love that energy. F the Gators, you already know. From my bro right here. What's the deal? Next one from Carlos. Gator had a week. And this one saying that Miles Kisselman being out could prove to be more beneficial than harmful. Ethan Davis breakout game. I think that y'all gave y'all thoughts on that. And that's from my dog Dylan. I think we probably all kind of like on the same page with that. I hate to say it that way, but it just kind of like is what it is. And then also understanding that guys like Brame, right? I mean, Brame is we can still run 12 personnel with Ethan and Jack, and then you got Brame who you can flex out. You can flex out, I think, all those guys. Yeah. So it might actually kind of work out for Tennessee.
Let's just not do it in 4th down situation when he's never caught a pass.
Yeah.
But I'll leave it there. Yeah. Sorry to open the wound.
But yeah, that is a fact. All right, so this one from Los, he's saying that with Boo being gone, will this improve the mindset of our guys? It feels like we've been playing mostly without passion. What are y'all's thoughts on this, man? And just whoever wants to take it.
I disagree in the without passion part. I don't think that's necessarily correct. Like I say, I think it all falls back to momentum killers and things that we've done, like turnovers, just beating ourselves. Stop beating their freaking self, man. Like this offense, it can explode on you quick. Just don't make mistakes, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was New Mexico State, but that was you knew Boo Carter wasn't playing, and you played well defensively. So that's the only thing we can point to right now.
Yeah, Pat.
I just the way I look at it, we're not going to let one player hold the defense or this team hostage. Like, so, he's gone. I wish him the best. I hope him the best in life. Just because, like, I don't want to see anybody fail in life. Like, this is not who I am as a person. I want everybody to succeed, especially anybody that's ever played and put on that orange jersey. I for sure want them to succeed, even if it doesn't, a great breakup to the relationship. Like, it is what it is. I just hope that, like, animosity, negativity, maybe that we're possibly into the locker room. Like, let's just, let's get rid of that. We know what we've got moving forward. We know the players on the team. Let's see these guys invested. Let's get out there. Let's give 110 and, handle business. And maybe there was a little bit of negative draws on people. I see that a lot at work with what I do. Like when there's a little bit of negativity introduced, it starts bringing everybody else down if they allow that into their brain. And it's gone. I hope him the best. The rest of our guys, like I know we've got I know what we've got back there, especially in the DB field, and we're going to do fine.
Yeah,
I really feel that way about it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm right there with y'all guys, man. And 4-3 is something that we might talk about if we have time, like more towards the end. But I just want to put that thought in people's minds because with only one star player, which is our nickel, you got to consider it. Like, we all talking about Jaden P and how he's been playing. I think that might be the answer. Okay, so moving forward. So this one from William, he's saying that Ma would be crazy to come back. Yeah, I think
I don't disagree.
With that. Yeah, I think we all on the same page with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So wait, hold on. This one right here saying that from Los, he's saying the hype doesn't motivate. What do y'all think about that? And just like real quick, does anybody have thoughts on this? No? Okay.
I can't say that he don't. I can't say that hype don't motivate. I mean, none of us have been step foot in that locker room. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
So, and we're not in the building, so we don't know like how it happens. Like hype is, when it comes to the media, he's a little bit more hidden. Like he kind of holds his, everything close to the vest, but we don't like. He was a player. He won a national championship. You seen the passion that he was giving out on the field when he was playing. So I find that hard to believe that he doesn't like get in there and like when the cameras are not on him and really like, get into their ass if he has to, for lack of better terms. Like, I feel like Heupel knows how to motivate. He played.
Yeah. All right, so actually, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come right back to the chat. So we're coming to you next, Dylan. But I do want to get to because I know that the Russ got to skate here in about 10 minutes. So I want to get through some more of these questions and make sure the Ruck gets a chance to answer these. So the next one right here, y'all, is will we end the streak? And I think that y'all kind of have answered this with some of y'all's previous answers. But Ruck, I would like to hear from you. Do you think that Tennessee is going to end the streak coming up on Saturday night?
Man, the dreaded question, man. Here's where I'm at, man. Can we? Should we? Yes. This is the worst Florida team that you are going to see for however many next years, bro. Like, this is worse than McElwain Florida teams, bro. Like, this is worse than when you lost 10-9 in Neyland Stadium to Florida. Like, this team is like the injuries, everything. Like, you should win this game. But here's the thing, man. It's not even about it being there. It's the fact that Josh Heupel has proven that he cannot win the big games on the road as the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers. We've not done it. We beat OU, cool. We beat LSU. Who else have we beat on the road? That's it. Like Mississippi, I don't even count Mississippi State.
Yeah,
like I'm talking about like, have you beat the big three at their crib? No. And so it's kind of like my man Dylan, who's in the chat, he hops on our show all the time. That's my man. He's a part of the crew. Yeah. And one thing he said, I'm talking like maybe 6 games ago, he said, when a man shows you who they are, you better believe them. And until we do it, I can't pick us. I don't think we win it. I don't know what it looks. I don't know what it looks like, but until we do it, until Heupel proves, it's like prove me wrong, man. Till you do it, I can't pick it. So,
yeah. Hey, look, I can most definitely feel what you're saying because and we was talking about it in the backstage. Like, I am a little. I'm not gonna say that I'm nervous because I'm not playing, so I have no reason to be nervous, but I'm just hoping that we just go down there focused. I'm hoping that Heupel has the team focused. You have to ask yourself, what type of mindset do they have right now with some of the players that might be looking on to the next level or whatever, because that type of stuff always happens towards the end of the year. These guys started the season off wanting to win or make it at least make it to the college football playoffs. That's not really it's not really in the cards, but it is a rivalry game, so I'm hoping that they get up for it. But Ruck, I ain't mad at you for that. So Tim, what are your thoughts, man? Do you think that Tennessee's going to end the streak on Saturday night?
We can. That's what I think, man. I've seen this movie before, but no, Tennessee. Obviously, I think they can win it. I think we've got the talent to win it. Here's the good thing. I think this game is harder on Tennessee fans than it is on the Tennessee players.
Yeah.
And here's why I say that, because we're all battered all to shit, right? I mean, that's just I've been a Tennessee fan for a long time. Florida is, if there's anything that's ever given me battered ball syndrome, it's 100% it was Florida. But here's the good thing, and I've stated on here before, Tennessee is one of the youngest teams in the SEC. 49% freshmen. Do you think freshmen remember that shit? No, man, they don't. They remember last year. We beat them last year. One of them said, does this, what do you think about this? He's like, well, we lost to them when we played them at Florida and we beat them at home. So I don't think it's a mental hurdle for the players like it is for the fans. I think the fans are beat all to hell, but I don't think it's as big of a deal for them, right? Like they just have to go in there, go focused and play. And honestly, if you're a competitor, these are the games you live for. Like playing in Neyland is cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But there's nothing better than going into somebody's house and taking that shit over.
That's
LSU game, like that was Death Valley. Like we went in there in 2022 and people were leaving in the third quarter. Like they were marching in droves towards the tunnel. Would I love to see that happen at the Swamp?
Woo!
Dude, I've got a bottle of Jack Daniels. I'll down that thing if that happens. I promise. It's getting lit.
Yep.
But look, man, like they just got to go in there and play their game. 100%, they've got the talent. They just got to go in there and not beat themselves. Will they do it? I think they can. The 100%, I think they can. So I'm going to say yes. But I've seen this movie before. If you go in there and you play like ass, which sometimes they can do in the Swamp, then it will not be pretty.
You know what, Tim? That sounds like a soft no to me. Like that don't sound like
no, that's a soft yes. That was just very soft, soft yes.
Okay, yeah.
Soft serve ice cream, yes. Okay, because once again, I'm a fan. I've been beat all to hell in this exchange for years. But it's a soft yes. Can we win? Yes, we can. I definitely think we can. I think, like I've said before, if we go out and we score early, I think that the Florida team's mentality is just on the edge of just giving up. I mean, that's a rough year when you're not playing for a bowl game. Okay, yeah. Will they get up for us? Yeah, probably. And like somebody said, will they get up for FSU? Yeah, probably. But I don't know, man. That's losing sucks. And you lose a lot. There's that gets rough, and you lose so many games, all of a sudden things aren't going your way. You're just like, people just check out.
Yeah. So JPatt, do you think that Tennessee is going to end the streak?
Hell yeah. What do you mean?
Right.
Of course we are. Of course we are. Like these fools, Florida, I feel like what it is, like there's something in the water down here, something in the air, and I live in Florida, so I have to deal with these fools on a daily basis. They can't drive. They're barely able to breathe and think at the same time. I'm not kidding. Like I've daily road rage occurring inside my vehicle every single day, and that's just I know that's already even the young players, they've been here long enough to have that influence their that whatever it is, it's gotten into their system, and I don't see them they played Ole Miss real hard, but I think they're trying to get their coach. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to get Ole Miss's coach. So of course they're going to go out there and bust butt. You know what I mean? So you go ahead, Timmy. I know what you was about to say. Go ahead and say it.
I think you nailed it. Like they were they were more pumped about the Lane Kiffin situation than they were about that was the only. I think that was the only motivation they had going into that.
Totally.
Boy, what kind of blow would that be if all of a sudden he named you as going to LSU? And you want to talk about a defeated Florida team? Oh,
Man,
Cooked.
that's
Oh
what I
my
was
God.
hoping for. I was
Oh,
really
that would be
hoping for that this week because he just came back. I'm telling you, he just came back from a trip to LSU. They're down there giving him private jets and Lord knows whatever, throwing Spanish moss up in the air.
Yeah.
Dude.
They gave
I
him
mean,
his own Mardi Gras.
that's crazy. You know how bad that's got to be as
Dude.
an Ole Miss fan. I am
Dude.
so glad that dirty bastard ain't here to do it
I'm
to us
telling
again.
you.
Old Suitcase Lane, he's always got one packed by the door. He's got a go bag just
He called
ready
him
to go.
Suitcase Lane.
Probably got some
Suitcase
whippets in
Lane,
there and some Anyway,
That's
Ready to go.
that's wild. All right, so
He got
let
it
me.
in Prada now. Sorry.
yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Okay, yeah. So Pat said that you feel like we are gonna break the streak. All right, so let me get to my dog Dylan. So he's talking about Florida having us and in Florida State at the end of the year. I think that we'll be motivated. That's something that I think maybe Ruck might have touched on that. Somebody did touch on
I
that.
did. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Tim, sorry, I talked about everybody
All
except for the
good.
man who
No,
did
no,
it.
no, it's
So
all good.
Los, yeah. So Los is saying pretty good at recruiting. Lost with time management, motivation. Yeah, I'm kind of like right there with you. We're gonna try to get through more of these. So Mark, you're saying that DJ is going through what Nico went through.
Mm-hmm.
No offensive line to block. I disagree with that, man. I
Yeah,
think
them
their
boys
offensive
are-
line is good,
I
man.
think there's some of that there, but there's
Yeah.
some decision making issues that
Yeah,
are
he's-
not
he's-
been.
More of that,
He will.
more of that.
He's
Between the heads.
the old gunslinger. He will throw it up and hope for the best in certain situations.
Totally.
Yeah.
He sure will. So I'm going back and forth, y'all, and checking to see if the injury list came out just yet, but it hasn't. Ruck, you just let me know if you're getting past time, bro.
Totally. Yeah, I'm waiting for this report.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna keep on checking it. All right. So this next one, I don't know how to pronounce that, but a motivation for the UT players would be to play on a Tennessee team that would be unique to so many other Tennessee teams by beating Florida in Florida. That would make huge bragging rights. Yeah.
Totally.
I think that we all on the same page with that.
You want to
Go
see a statue built to Joey Aguilar? Let him walk into the swamp and break the
Oh,
streak.
yeah.
They will.
Oh,
there
dude.
will be babies named after him next year. There will be
Oh.
many Joeys running around all over the place. And I'm not talking about the kangaroos either. So yeah,
Absolutely.
Yep. No doubt about it. All right. So Chatsworth saying that we win this game, the fans forget or at least forgive the Bama and Okie losses. That is our motivation.
Nope, not
Well,
me.
Yeah, I was gonna say not me, but I don't care what we do, even if we win the national championship, unless we get to go through Georgia, I'm not forgiving that loss. I'm not forgiving missing the kick when we had the chance to win. I will never forgive that. And you know what? Hopefully at some point I will, but no, that one scarred me. I don't know about the other two. Maybe. Nah. Bama, no. Hell no. Oklahoma, no, because we missed the playoffs from that. There's no way. What's
Oklahoma
y'all
hurt. Oklahoma was don't get me wrong, missing the kick to Georgia, that one sucked. But I'll just tell you right now, as far as just absolutely felt like my soul had been crushed was the Oklahoma game. Because I looked at that Oklahoma offense and I was like, how did we lose this game? Right. I mean, we lost it. It wasn't that they beat us. It's that we lost it.
Totally.
Like we did it to ourselves. Some bad decisions and some questionable things, and is what it is.
All right, so look, I want to get to this injury list, y'all. And Ruck, I'm gonna get your thoughts on it first. Looking at Tennessee, what are you thinking? I mean, I'm sitting here looking at Sidney Walton being out. That is not a good look because our safety room was already very shorthanded. But what are your thoughts looking at Tennessee's part of it?
I think for me, Bull, the first thing I noticed is that Travis Smith Jr. is not on this list.
Oh, I didn't even peep that. Okay, love that.
And that's huge. That's massive. And you add a receiver in Joakim Dotson, which he hasn't played a lot of downs for us this season. Going to be a good player. But the Sidney Walton thing instantly had my eyes like, oh, that's not great. But P. Lou and Wendell, I like them there now on a Wednesday. They can progress. They can get better. We can see where they are, especially when we get to that travel day on Friday. I like what I see. I'm cool with this. I think Miles Kitselman's injury, I knew seeing it in the stadium. I'm like, yeah, this ain't good. So for him to be ruled out, it's serious there. So yeah, I like what I see so far. And then goodness gracious, does Florida are they going to have enough players to play? Right?
Good Lord. Wow, that's an impressive
a,
injury list.
a massive list. I mean, headed by Trey and Dallas Wilson. Those two receivers alone would cook. They would have probably over 100 yards against us if they played. Vernell Brown is a dog as well. Freshman guy. He's a freshman there along with Dallas Wilson. But if Brown goes, that hurts. And then if Bryce Thornton goes, he is a playmaker in the back end. So obviously the probable guys with their tight end and the offensive line, it is what it is. But my eyes and my hand is circling Vernell Brown and Bryce Thornton. If those guys play, huge impact players for Florida, man. And we were actually talking about Bryce Thornton yesterday on Tuesday on our show, and I was just like, this dude can play. Yeah, he can play. And if he feels good enough to play, I hate it. I hate it for us.
Yeah. So I'm also pointing out number 93. I'm not sure how long he's been out, y'all, but I do know that he's like one of their guys. So he might have been out for quite some time. I'm not, but man, they got a lot of guys on their front seven that are out. I'm looking for your boy Banks. I don't see him on here.
I don't either
at all. So that means that Caleb Banks will be playing on Saturday, just unless they didn't put him up here. So, obviously happy that he's healthy and not happy that we got to play him. But let me let you skate, Ruck, if you got it.
Totally.
Okay, so hey, look, make sure to go check out Ruck on his channel, Straight Up Tennessee. They won't be live tonight, but make sure to just go check his channel out because they bring excellent content. Appreciate you for joining us as always, Ruck.
Always, boys. Y'all have a good night. Go Vols.
Yes, sir. All right, fellas. So 3 of us left in this thing. What are y'all's thoughts on looking at this injury list?
That's a huge injury list. I mean, that's all I could say. That's massive. They're getting one guy back, but they're also losing another guy, right? The edge. Where does that one guy? Who would he be going up against? The guy that's coming back. What's his name?
Banks. Shoot, he would be going up against mostly guards, but sometimes tackles too. It's going to be like guard tackle. Really anybody on the offensive line because he can stunt. He's a problem. He's one of the best defensive linemen that I've seen, and I'm not just like saying it, but from like a talent standpoint, he's kind of like he's kind of like a Jalen Carter. He's almost kind of like a poor man's Jalen Carter that played for Georgia. He's like one of those types of dudes. So I mean, he's a problem, but he can line up over center, and I mean he can wreak havoc. 6'6", 330.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, and he can move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, do you have any other thoughts, Tim, on this?
No, sir. Nope.
Okay. Pat, you got some thoughts on this?
Yes. No, like if questionable and out were flipped, I would think that we were looking at Lane Kiffin's injury list from last year. Every week he had half his team on there. That way they could swap on the ground. But it's just like that's quite a bit. Like, and I mean, I'm looking. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 DBs, 4 out, 1 questionable. I'm seeing 1, 2. Like they're big time wide receivers out. I don't know who Ty Jackson is. I see Gums, he's out. Like this is a big list. So I mean, like, as bad as it seems like to be. Sorry, I have my hand over this. I'm trying to hold my iPad and my phone at the same time to get set up my thing. But either way, like I don't want. I just I don't want this to like. We better go down there and handle business. That's all I got to say. Like we got Eugene Wilson and Dallas Wilson. Like I've seen these fools all year, on highlight reels. And I know Vernell Brown, like he's like that. He's like their little splash freshman. So like if he's questionable, that means he's still, kind of dealing with a nagging injury. Like we better be able to go down there and handle business. That's just, I really feel that way. Like, I'm not saying we better, like we are. Like, I'm putting that energy out there in the universe. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to Florida. And I wish I could go, but I got to work tomorrow, or I got to work Saturday. But
On Saturday.
I wish I could go down there. But either way, man, like, I really do. I don't think that like this hurts us at all. Like, in all honesty, like looking at the difference between ours and theirs, like I think we're coming out on the winning side of that. Like with their injury list versus ours. With Miles, we got plenty of depth. I think we're going to be all right. So
Okay. Yeah. I do too, man. But you just never know because Florida is very deep. I know that they got a whole bunch of players down there, but we shall see. All right, let me try to catch up, man, because we got a whole lot of chats that we have to get to. So Mark Shepard is saying that the biggest concern is, can Halsley put together a 60-minute game plan without throwing the ball 70% of the time? Do y'all have any thoughts on that?
The only thing I'd say on that is just don't give up on the run too soon.
Yeah.
Right. Like you need to make it more of a focus to establish the run and stick with it. I think we went away from it a little too quick.
Yeah.
And like I get why we went away from it versus Nebraska, or not Nebraska, but Oklahoma, just because that defensive front was freaking terror. But yeah.
I guess I can kind of understand it, but yeah, it's something that even if we only get 2 to 3 yards per carry, you got to stick to it, because I think that we need to try to keep this offense off the field. Yeah. All right, so this next one, saying differences between Georgia and Tennessee after they played each other is Kirby has adjusted while Heupel has refused this. You know what? Let me say this real quick, y'all, and then I'm gonna let y'all have it. I was just thinking that. I was like, damn, bro, like as I'm going through making the stats, showing y'all the difference between our first 5 games versus our last 5 games. It's like, man, the offense started off great. It's still really good, but it's like I don't know if we just do everything too quick or what, and we can't come up with anything new and people start to sit on it, or I don't know what happens. But that is concerning for me. I'm happy that, the defense is getting better. I think some of that's just like young guys getting used to playing. But yeah, I hate to say this. It's going to hurt me to say this, but that's what championship teams do, man. Like, you get better every single week, and Georgia's done that. Georgia's trending, and I hope somebody can knock them off. But do y'all have any thoughts on that? Pat?
No, sir.
Well, no. I've always got a thought on Georgia. FUGA, that's my thought on Georgia. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there.
That's a fact.
Like all day, every day. But and that's the one for me. Like that this year, that loss, that one hit home. I think that's what hit home for our guys. Like I saw, even following that game, I saw like a little bit of a kind of a decline in our offense, because I know they felt like they went out there and they did enough to win that game. But then Georgia come back, they adjusted, after halftime. That's something that we've got to get better at, rather than trying to kick the same, just doing the same thing. Like, oh, we'll make it work. We've got to adapt a little bit more. We've got to expand a little bit. But I will say this, as far as the running game, we've definitely got to keep running the football, just like we did with Alabama in 2022. Sometimes we got, nothing. Sometimes we got 5. Sometimes we got 3. But we kept running the football, because if we don't, then the pass plays aren't going to be there, because then they can set on everything. If we're throwing 70% of the time, we're putting the ball in the air, and with Joey's propensity to, send it down the field more than he tries to hit underneath, more than he's trying to, find his check down, any of that, like especially if he starts to lock on, like we've got to be able to run the football. And I think if we could just get a little bit of push, like, maybe change a little bit, and with what we're having to deal with, like I think that we get a little bit more push up front, even if it's scheme, even if we change the scheme on the blocking a little bit, like, and I've noticed that we don't run, but once we get like a little bit of a lead, we run it off center, run it maybe off guard, but and it's always Peyton Lewis, with all the speed that he has. we're always running him off center. We never give him like why are we not even? Why don't we throw in an option play where Joey comes out with an option play and gives it to Lewis, who's run a 10 something hundred. Like, why are we not giving him a little bit more space? Yeah, he's a big boy. He's the biggest one, but he's also the fastest. So he's not
You know
the most
what?
agile.
Yeah, you know what, Pat? I think that's a really good point because was it last season that we ran the speed option? I think versus Florida, right?
Yeah.
I think So I think that we can run that versus this defense. I think that that's an excellent point. I'm gonna try to catch up on some more of these chats, y'all. So from Chatsworth, so Latway did get benched, but then he came back as the starter last game. So I think he's probably gonna be starting this game versus us. Wouldn't be surprised, but you got to watch out for the backup too, the freshman. I think he's pretty good. There was another one too that I wanted to get into. All right, so this one right here, I would love to get y'all's thoughts on this. So this one's from Nolan Sanders. He's saying that he loves Joey, but he thinks that we're at a point where we game plan around him throwing at least one pick. What do y'all think? Do y'all think it's something that maybe the staff can do to help him with throwing interceptions? Tim?
It's a footwork thing. No, I don't think they. I mean, you can talk to him about it, but if the guy doesn't see it, he throws into a double coverage. That's on you, bro. I think Joey with like another year could be absolutely amazing, but I just don't think he's. You have to understand where Joey played before, right? He played at App State and he played at college that I don't even know the damn name of in California, right? Like no one's ever heard of until he came here. He did. I don't think he got a lot of the coaching that you get at like UT and stuff like that with footwork and all these things. Joey's very raw. However, he's got one of the most beautiful deep balls I've ever seen. Period. Like his deep ball is Nico couldn't. Yeah, he would have had to FedEx it to him to make it there. Like it was like what an upgrade. But no, I don't know, man. I don't think it's anything that can be fixed overnight because a lot of the stuff you see, it's footwork related. He's not getting set. He's throwing off balance. He's doing some things, but it's all fixable things. But is it fixable by the time we play Florida? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, you know what? And Tim and Pat and anybody else has been watching us at least since the offseason, whenever we're breaking down film on Joey, what do we say? He throws off his back foot, all the same stuff. Whenever he feels pressure, he throws it up in the double coverage. We're seeing some of the same stuff. And I know that he only had like a limited time with this staff, and I think they worked wonders with him. But some of the old habits, I think, just kind of like die hard. I don't know for a guy that's 23, 24. I'm not sure how much of that, you can get some of it out of him. But I just kind of think that that's who he is. I just think that he's going to make some big throws, but you're going to get some interceptions too. If we can somehow find a way to harness it, Tennessee would maybe be undefeated right now. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, shouts out to the staff. Shouts out to Joey. JPatt, what's your thoughts?
And so I think, we've got the mics. We've got microphones, and we run quick. So why is Heupel or Halsley not in his ear, giving him the read, like pulling the defensive read right there, telling him, hey, here's one, here's two, and then, send it whatever way, out of bounds if it's not there, or pull it, hey, or here's a check down. We need to incorporate a little bit more on the check down. Like, the running back, you got a running back helping on a block, from an edge or blitzing linebacker or safety or corner or whatever, chip, and then that ball, like let's, I feel like that some of it, that's Joey's, kind of, that's his MO. But at the same time, why are we not, as coaches, adapting and evolving the way that the game play is being called to fit his style of play? Because, Joey's not making $9 million a year. He's only making, whatever. And he's, 24 years old. He's not, 45 years old in, an offensive coordinator or a head coach. So let's, I think, and maybe they're doing it and it's just not working. I can't say that it is, I don't know. But at the same time, let's adapt a little bit of the offense to what his, tendencies are and try to take away some of those situations from him to where he has better options, and be able to let him know pre-snaps until 15 seconds are on the game clock. I mean, they can talk to him. So like, hey, boom, here's one, here's two, and then here's your check down. Linebackers blitzing or safety probably blitzing. Watch the edge, something, and give him that in his ear and help him, because like Timmy said, like he didn't have the top of the line coaching. He didn't have all the best. This is his first year at a true top school, and with elite coaching. So I think that they could do a little bit better helping him with that. Maybe he's just not taking the coaching. I don't know. I don't.
He didn't have any time, man. I mean, the dude got here in freaking May or
something like that. Yeah,
he got here in May. I mean, you can't. The fact that he even learned the damn playbook by the time it was time to get out and go.
What I'm saying,
like, well, I mean, but I'm not going to fix a kid's mechanics in,
no, not his mechanics. Just give him a little bit of time.
In summer school, right? Like that's not happening. So,
but this is not rocket science, though, Tim. You know what I'm saying?
Look, but the thing about football, man, and what everybody we're all armchair quarterbacks, but if there's a and it's hindsight's always 20/20, and we get to sit here and look back. It's a lot different when you got a 330-pound man running at your face with evil intentions. It is literally one of the most elite athletes on the planet. It's a little different when it's going full speed and you're the dude. Like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a game plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? Yep. And that's football in a nutshell, man. You make a good decision and you make a bad decision. You're the zero or you're the hero, and there's not a lot in between. And we can all sit here and quarterback it all we want, but you ain't the guy that's got somebody running at you right now that's just wanting to kill you either. So
I will also say this though: if you're the quarterback of the team, that's your job.
It is.
Like you have to be able to handle somebody's coming at you, and you got to be able to make those throws. I want somebody who can do that more consistently. That's just me. I'm not mad at Joey, but what I am saying is that's what you signed up for. And there's quarterbacks who do it better. That's just what it is. He has to take care of the football. Like if he doesn't, Tennessee's not going to win versus Florida or versus Vanderbilt. So that's where I'm at with it. It's just like I understand he came in late, but
I don't disagree. But I think people are asking a little much when we're like, oh well, why didn't they fix it in the off season? He didn't have an off season.
I didn't say that. Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm just like that. And I see people say it all the time. Like some of the shit I read on Twitter is people need to go out and touch grass. Like, and some of these people saying it, I'm just like, where did you play? And I hate to be that way because but listen, and I'm not saying that I'm an elite player, but I played enough football to know that it ain't easy, man, and especially at the level that we're playing at. Like, it just and some of this crap people post online is just
it's crazy. Crazy. I mean, look, like players get death threats and all types of stuff, man. Like it's
not just Tennessee that does it. It's everywhere.
No, I'm not saying no. It's not just Tennessee, but I'm just saying people who are like people take it too far. But yeah, I mean, I think that there isn't much that the staff can do at this point. There really wasn't. I think they did a great job with the time that they had to work with them.
Yes.
But things is kind of like are what they are. I don't know that. This is just me. I just think that he just kind of like is who he is. I just think that there are certain habits and tendencies that people just can't really break. And I always talk about it. Tony Romo. Tony Romo is one of my favorite quarterbacks. One of my favorite quarterbacks ever. I love Tony Romo. But it's just like some people have bad luck, kind of. I hate to say that, but to me, that's what it looks like sometimes. Think about like the first 4 or 5 picks that Joey threw. 4 of those wasn't really his fault.
Those weren't his fault. No.
So but it's just last ones that just happen.
These last ones, it's the last. They're undeniable, right?
Yeah, the last 4 or 5 have been really bad, or maybe even 6, because he threw 2 versus Bama. They only count 1 because 1 was on an extra point. But yeah, those were all really bad interceptions. But all right, let's move on because we'll be talking about that forever. But let's keep it moving. where are we at now? So Florida will definitely, I think we already got to that one. So this one from Matt SS, I was going to get to this one. I saw you chiming in. So there's been lots of drama and distractions involving Florida this year, especially this week. Hopefully this has thrown them off a bit. Hopefully we can take advantage. I think that we all kind of feel that. I'm hoping that that's the case. You know, hate it for those guys on a like personal level, but shoot it. If it helps us win, I'm perfectly fine with it. So Kyle Beach is saying that Tennessee is going to have to play at their best and not turn the ball over, and a few penalties as well. So we haven't even talked about penalties, y'all. But do we all feel like the Swamp's going to be rocking, or do we feel like it's going to be kind of dead? Or do we feel like it's rocking and we silence them and then we can hear well?
Florida's always been rowdy. Like, let's just be honest. Even if you look at the Swamp, it's not the biggest stadium in the SEC. They don't break 100,000. I don't think it's not even like as far as capacity goes, it's not exactly that impressive.
Yeah.
In fact, they've got a bunch of drunk, crazy ass Florida fans in there. One of my favorite things to see on Twitter is Florida Man, right? And then you see the craziest crap you've ever seen. Florida Man does, yeah. They get rowdy and they get wild, man. But that's all going to depend on how we play. We go in there and we score and score early. That can change a lot of things as far as the crowd involvement.
Pat?
That's exactly. So, we come in, like if they defer, which teams typically do against us for some reason, they want to defer. And if they do that and we come out, we smack them in the mouth right off the bat and then get a defensive stop somehow, just like something or even a turnover, something big and then smack them again, put 14 on the board within the first, 5 minutes of the football game. Like, these guys are already going to be, inebriated enough to where they're going to go into depression rather than, that's where they're going to be at. Because, Lane Kiffin, he might not be there. He might be there. They don't know. They're going to be looking for Lane Kiffin more than they are for their own team. They're going to be trying to see if his helicopter's flying in. They're going to, like that, especially if we smack them with 14 points within the first 5 minutes of the football game. And then, the crowd's going to kind of be out of it. It's a different kind of world down there in the Swamp. Like I've been to a game there before. I won't discuss the details of some of the things. When you're wearing orange in the Swamp. Not their orange, our orange. But it's different, and that's the thing. Like this is the year we just turn it around. Like we turn the tide on them. We switched this up. Like we had like kind of the way that the schedule works. 21. With Hendon's first year, we were in the Swamp, and then but in 22, we beat them, and then 24, we beat them at home with not our best quarterback. So I think like we just go ahead and follow that this year because we know we beat them last year. Several players on this team were there. But even though it was at home, they knew that they could beat them because, at the end of the day, it's man on man. If we take the crowd out of the game, it's even worse. Like the score is going to be even worse. Like I really feel that way. I'm speaking that straight into the world.
Yeah, so I just saw one chat that said that the game's been sold out, which I'm not shocked at that by any means.
There's a lot of balls.
Yeah, hopefully that's the case. And then also, I think, was it this one? Okay, yeah, so that's the one that the game is sold out. But this one from Mark, he's talking about audibles. This is something else that, and I was thinking about this, like with the video that we put out early. I think it came out at like midnight, but we're talking about Joey, right? In that video, as I'm going through, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, man, I wish that like he could change the play. I don't know how much of that we can do. I know we can maybe change up a couple things, but that's part of the reason I'm not like a huge fan of the tempo. And I think that Joey would do well with that. I think that if we just like give him the keys and say, man, look, draw what you like. I think that would be very beneficial. So that's something that I hadn't too much thought about until, I'm going through that film. But what's y'all's thoughts on that? Just like with the audibles, I know that we can't tell exactly when they're calling them and all of that, but do y'all think that maybe that's something that could help this offense out?
Well, that's only if how good is Joey at reading defenses, right? Because
I think he's a pre-snap. Post-snap is what I think messes him up.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I think a lot of that has to do with the quarterback and how good they are at doing that. And is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I would want for me to see a quarterback want to do that. I want to see him making some consistently good decisions, right? Otherwise, you're you know, I don't know about that. I don't know about Ford, but maybe. I mean, if he's if they feel like they can trust him, then sure, throw as many as you can at him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we shall see. So we actually got through all of the chat, y'all. So we was actually able to get through it today. But I appreciate everybody for joining us. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Actually, do y'all have any like closing thoughts before we wrap this up?
No,
Tim?
not really. Not really. I do have one question. I don't know if we've got time to do this or not. But
Yeah.
I've been wanting to ask this to you guys in chat for a long time. If you could bring back one player from last season that would make the biggest impact, who do you think it would be? I think I've got the right answer, and it's pretty shocking. But what are your thoughts?
Shoot, man, that's a really good question. For me, it's one of those defensive tackles. I mean, it would be like a Omar Norman Lott or maybe like a Big E or a Big O. I think I know what your answer might be, Tim, and I could see that too. Pat, what's your thoughts?
I feel like y'all are both. To me, it's definitely Omar Norman Lott or Jacoby Thomas. Unfortunately, because like we need that safety help. But like that,
I think. Go ahead.
You know who I'm going to say, don't you, Bull? You know who I'm going to say.
Brooks?
Yes, 100%. And that's and when you come to that realization and think about it, that's probably that's freaking shocking, right? For me, it is, and I think he would make the biggest impact. And you have to think about that for a minute. And why would he do that? Number one, he turned out to be a really good player, a walk-on, right? But also his knowledge and the leadership he had back there at the safety, at getting guys in a position and into spots. And what was the deal with Tennessee all this year? Like watching the defense always look like they're a little unsettled. They're looking everywhere to everybody. Hey, you see fingers pointing everywhere. And I don't know, man. To me, maybe it would be Will Brooks. And if it is, that's seems like a wild statement to say. But
yeah, no, I could definitely see that. Like, I think that both of y'all named off safeties. Pat, you talked about some defensive tackles too, but that's where the real holes are at, I think, in this team. I feel like, almost everywhere else Tennessee is basically upgraded at for the most part. Dylan Sampson, I see someone said Dylan Sampson. I would love to have him back. That would be a big one.
Yeah.
But just as far as like the biggest impact, I think you got to go either safety or somewhere on the defensive line. I'm surprised nobody's saying James Pierce. Oh wow, somebody said Mod. Yeah, Mod. That Matt said Mod. That would be.
That would have been
he's
huge.
Still on the team.
He's still here, but not. Yeah.
But he's just not playing. All right, so let me get to this one right here. Saying that he always got the defense lined up. Yeah, Brooks. Yeah, Brooks was he was a big part of what we did, man, and he played very, very well. But that's going to do it, y'all. So appreciate it, and we'll be back. I think that we covered the injuries pretty good tonight, but I'm going to do some more research. It might be some other guys that we skipped over, so we'll be talking about that tomorrow. But y'all, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and we will be talking to y'all tomorrow. Thanks. Peace.
Go Vols.
The Vols. Who good?